Indiana Jones, It's a podcast about Indiana Jones. Every movie, 1 minute at a time. Indiana Jones Minute.
Welcome back to the Indiana Jones Minute. This is the show where we are discussing the film Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, 3 minutes at a time. My name is Tom Taylor.
I'm Pete. Fly, yes. Land, no. Mummer.
I'm the intern, Gerald Christopher Marcus. Everything hurts. Porter.
And we are finally joined once again by the fourth Beatle, Professor Christy Porter. Welcome back.
Hey, fellas. Hi.
Hello. Welcome back. We couldn't. This is if everyone's paying attention, this is our last minutes of movie. This isn't the last episode of the show, but it's the end of the movie, for crying out loud. We could not finish the movie without Christy Porter coming back.
And it's the last scene with Indiana Jones in it that we may ever see.
I think that we will definitely never see again, ever. Period. The end.
Unless we do Young Indiana Jones.
That was good.
That was
good. Yeah, so let's see what happens. This is how we say goodbye to Indiana Jones. I'm not going to get choked up. This is going to be fine. This is going to be good. This is minutes 142
I'm not going to get choked
to 144. And these begin with Indy working on answering Marion's question, but he is interrupted by Sala entering with his grandkids, regaling them with stories about Indy and Marion blowing up a flying wing. He is surprised to see Indy up and about, but the tension in the air is palpable, and Helena clears the room for Indy and Marion by carting everyone out for ice cream. Marion notes that Indy's shoulder wound looks bad, and he tells her that everything hurts. She says she knows how that feels. He asks her where doesn't it hurt, and after reenacting a scene from a pirate ship from 30 years earlier, they finally kiss each other right in the kitchen. Outside, Sala chases the kids down the street on the way to get ice cream, and Helena follows as the camera goes up the side of the building to Indy's little deck where the fedora hangs from a clothesline before being snatched inside. The end! Roll credits beginning with director James Mangold and including writers and producers and executive producer Steven Spielberg and George Lucas, and ending with costume designer Joanna Johnston.
Okay, I am taking a moment just for all of us. Let's just take a moment.
Uh-huh.
Yes. I can't believe it.
That's it.
Yes. Boy. Okay, I'm collecting myself. I'm going to try not to become a blubbering idiot here. And Tommy, I have a question for you.
Yes, please.
Our last minutes, we're left on this cliffhanger of Marion asking Indy, "Are you back?"
Yeah.
And then we begin this, and we don't get an answer.
Yeah.
We specifically don't get an answer. What do you think about that, Tommy?
I think it's meaningful that he's interrupted by Sala, a man with whom he has shared many adventures, even though he did diss him on this adventure earlier in the movie. And I think it's also meaningful that the very last instant we see of Indiana Jones is his hand grabbing the hat, a symbol of adventure, and ditching Marion. So I don't know how to answer that. He seems very moved and very, I don't know if happy or glad is the right word, but he's moved and meaningfully so to have Marion there in the kitchen with him. And I want him to be back, but there's lots of clues there that it's just going to be more of the same and he's going to ditch again.
And this is the second time we've seen Sala save Indy with a bunch of kids coming into the room.
Right. Yes. Uncle Indy, don't kiss her yet.
Oh my God. I love that. He's going to risk him away from this infernal marriage.
Bro, Scooties.
All I was thinking is we could be watching Sala narrating Raiders.
That'd be great. Just his just sitting around his rooftop deck, hearing stories of all the Indy adventures from his point of view. That'd be great.
it would not be out of place to have a monkey.
No.
Just
Yeah.
saying.
No.
No, not at all. Well, okay, Christopher, what do you think? So there's Indy, is he back? And he gives this sort of this pregnant pause. And, then Sala does say, Indy, you're up. And he says, like, he gives a definitive, he goes, yes, I am.
And there was a sock on the door, Sala. I don't know if you totally missed what that means.
Is this an example of the actions speak louder than the words? We don't need it. It would have less meaning if he said, "Why, yes, I'm back."
Well, yeah, he doesn't have to say that, and Sala doesn't need to have it, and in English he understands. And actually, maybe it was kind of a dumb question, rhetorical, I guess. Clearly, he's back.
I think so. I mean,
He's
I'm
back.
making jokes about him
don't.
ditching and stuff, but it does really, emotionally, it seems like he's back. I agree.
I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
buying it.
Oh, P's not buying it?
I'll be the outlier here. I'm not buying it, but that's okay.
What do you mean you're not buying it? What's not to buy?
I haven't seen anything sold here. I'm not.
It's a good piece, Pete.
Well, let's, not to
Sure,
jump
the
ahead, but
museum
let's
will
talk
buy
about that
'em.
very last instant of film we get here, because it's like, they zero in on the hat. It even does the movie thing of like, the little iris in on
is
the
out.
hat.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, and then he grabs it. And so for us, the audience, that's like, Indiana Jones, he's still here. The adventure continues, whatever and stuff. But like in the moment where he's just been making out with Marion in the kitchen, they're reunited and it feels so good. What does that grabbing of the hat mean in that moment? Like, what is he actually doing?
That means I'm climbing out of the office window. I'm going to run away from my problems.
Yeah, my shoulder's pretty good now.
That's
I can get
exactly-
out of here.
It made me wonder, like, how many of the adventures that Indy goes on are just him running away from his problems at
Yeah,
home.
it does seem to be an awful lot.
Well, I have an idea about that for
okay.
this movie and why it ends this way as opposed to some other way, but we're not there yet. So, I did not think that his grabbing the hat means that he's back in order to go elsewhere. That's not what I thought it meant.
Oh, like he just woke up and he's still getting everything back together again. He's like, why is my hat outside? Bring that in here. Somebody could steal it.
I don't know why the hat was
Yeah, why was
outside.
it
I
outside?
guess
Is it drying off?
Well, I think they were
I-
drying it on the clothesline.
wet?
Like
It's creepy that it's wet.
Well, no, I think when she punched him so
Oh.
hard he got wet. The hat got
Like all the
wet.
blood rocketed
Yeah.
out of his ears.
didn't make any sense at all.
It's a
Well,
it's a
okay.
very nice moment
For-
to end the movie on, but yeah, it doesn't make a ton of sense.
Oh, no, you guys listen. Okay, I have two routes I can go. I can go like like I can dig into the Pete route, or I can go like it's a fantastic ending to the
It is.
movie, and the whole point of it that's great is it's like no, the whole thing is turned around. His adventure right now, he's still on an adventure. He's just pivoted. His adventure is now the marital bedroom.
Oh, it could be that he's like, hey, if we're doing the whole Katanga's boat scene, let me get my hat and we'll do
Yeah.
it for real, and then you go all the way with it.
that's
That's
hat's
definitely what
okay.
I thought.
the Popeye
Definitely
spinach.
that. She's like, why don't you go get your hat?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
We know you
it's
can't
kind of a-
perform so well without your hat.
Oh wait, I found him. Where? There. Oh. You still got it, Indy.
I don't want to know. They got a little game. Put the hat on, put the hat on the
Yeah.
little, put the hat on the man. Indeed.
See,
Maybe Marion wears the hat. I don't know. So
Well,
Pete,
yeah.
wait a minute, Pete. I got to know you're not buying it. So what was it you weren't buying?
anything. I'm trying not to, I know everyone's really like, feeling melancholy and loving Indy and everything, and I don't want to harsh that too much, but I just
That ship has sailed. Dear.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
So see,
we're gonna do that.
so Sala comes in and he sings the same song that he sang right before Indy and Marion had this scene on the boat where he said, "Where doesn't it hurt?" Where she says, "Where doesn't it hurt?" And so we've reenacted the two main parts of that scene here.
Yeah.
And to me, it felt kind of like I'm looking into a funhouse mirror. Like I feel like we're hitting the same notes, but they're being reflected back in kind of a weird key, and I don't. It's not landing for me. It's sort of like, why are we? It's hitting only nostalgia. It's not. I don't feel like there's much else there because this is the same way that Crystal Skullin did. We got Mutz putting on the hat, and this ends with Helena putting on the hat, and then Indy grabs the hat, and then Indy grabs the hat here, and like every single part of this, I kind of like, well, we did this already.
I'm okay. Hang on. I just want to take a moment and just speak directly
Publicly
to our
castigate me.
no, well, really, no. To break the fourth wall and to speak to our listeners, I want you guys out there to know that Pete Mummert is a wonderful
Sure.
person.
He's got a huge
One
heart.
of the kindest, yes, he's one of the kindest people that I've known, and I know you know, this little minute and this little thing, and it just happens to be the end of our entire franchise. That's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
But
Why not
I
like this
love
for them?
Indiana
fantastic.
Jones. I don't want to see Indiana Jones go out like this. I love Indiana Jones. I wanted a little
But
more.
go out
I
like
wanted a little
what?
more meat.
What's
I
he's
don't
with the
know,
girl
but
that he
it-
loves. They're reunited.
They reenact that. This is
Yeah,
this is
we're
total.
reenacting the
Pete's-
scene.
no,
We're
Pete's right.
cosplaying.
Pete's cosplay.
You think
Well,
he's
I mean, they're just
cosplaying
they're
as
just
the
sort of
band too?
reenacting a scene from another
I
movie.
will say this. Here's a question for everybody. Do Indiana Jones and Marion Ravenwood think about and remember this scene that they're doing as well as we do? Like, do
Yes.
they remember that boat on Katanga? They're on Katanga. Do they remember the details of that moment as much as
Yes,
the
they
fans
do.
do?
Yes,
And
no,
does it mean the
absolutely.
same thing to them? Like,
No.
Yes.
I hear a
that-
yes and a no, from
I-
two different porters. This is exciting.
Yeah, well, I no, I don't think they remember it the way we do, but I'm gonna put a solid 2 feet in. This is a fantastic way to end the movie, and you know, some people would say that. I mean, you know, it's a callback, it's a fan, it's you know, whatever you want to say, it's pandering to the fans and to the scene, and no, it's you know, but this is a terrific way to end the franchise. You want to see the dude back with Marion. You want to see that lovely sweet embrace, and it is done so well. Both Marion and Indy, you know, Harrison Ford and you know, Karen Allen do such a
Well,
magnificent
they're great
Yeah.
actors.
reading of this where he kind of leads in and she kind of comes close to him and kisses him, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, my guts are gonna spill out all over the
I
dock.
actually did get.
The little Kittner boy.
I've watched the scene a bunch of times for this. I've seen the movie a few times and stuff,
Yeah.
and I actually got a little misty watching it this time, like 20 minutes ago.
I mean, it's maybe safe, but it's extremely well
is.
done for what this is going
I agree
on.
with my friend Jerry,
Well,
but
they
now I
are
want to
they
hear
are very
Christy.
good. Well, they're very good at what they do, but I no, Pete's definitely got a point of view, and it's not wrong. You're not wrong. It's
Thank
okay.
you, Christy.
It's,
I don't want to. I don't like I said. I don't want to harsh anyone's vibe on this.
No,
I'm thrilled that
I
everyone's
think-
loving it, and I hope everyone else loves
Not
it.
everybody's loving
but-
it, and I think that's kind of the thing. You can say this was a great ending because we should be doing callbacks. We should be hanging up our hat, although he takes it again, and I don't know why. But we should be recognizing the human and mundane parts of it because we just had all sorts of excitement and so forth. And he didn't even get to choose to come back. Like he had to get punched in the nose, and it wasn't his choice to come on back.
Yeah.
So that's one way to look at it. And Jer seems to think that that's okay. And the other way to look at it is, well, no, didn't we really prefer him riding into the desert with his 3 buddies and 4 horses? And, you know, it's very heroic. So shouldn't we have done something like where, you know, Princess Leia, you know, crowns them in a hall in the world's shortest ceremony?
There were no speeches. There was no like preamble. No, nothing.
she doesn't
Yeah.
even say anything.
No
Nobody
choir,
says anything.
yeah.
But then again, Rasala's not going to get a medal. Like,
And again, he's not going to
But he gets to sing Gilbert and Sullivan again. Now, okay, is that pandering? You hear Sala going down the stairs
yes,
singing Monica.
he sings. It's the exact same song he sang right before they got on the
That is-
boat. That's why that
Yeah.
if it hadn't been, it's both of those together. And I'm not trying to be negative. I just don't want to be a shill for something I think could have been.
No, it's
I
perfectly
feel
It is
legitimate.
legitimate.
Something
It's a
else.
legitimate
Would you
concern.
have preferred a hero's ending?
Yes, or I would have preferred even his own ending, their own ending. I just feel like they got an ending from another movie. Like
Yeah, they had definitely seen that movie.
Okay, so let me see, Pete. How would you have think? How do you think this could have been sort of drawn as a better wrap up?
I don't know. I'm not a screenwriter. I mean, I don't
well,
have
okay,
an idea.
did you
off
like
the top
the
of-
horses riding off? I mean,
I
that
did. I
is-
love
that's
the horses
very
riding off.
interesting because
Yeah.
Chris, you bring up a great point, and the end of Last Crusade, that also is a complete resolution and a great
Yeah.
ending as well.
But so's Temple of Doom.
Wait, what?
With
No,
the, with
now-
the
see, now we
what?
can't take
Yeah,
Pete
now you're-
seriously
yeah,
for the rest of
what?
the conversation.
Now we can't take him seriously. No, yeah,
I'm always going to take Pete
very
seriously.
funny.
Ha ha ha.
Very funny.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
No, Pete, you got to explain that. What do you mean? So was
Yeah,
Temple
what
of
do you
Doom?
mean, Pete?
I mean, it had an ending. I mean, he solved the crime. He did all the puzzles. He got to the end, and he ended up with the lady and the kid. And hey, I mean, it was kind of cheesy, but it had its own ending. I feel like this doesn't have its own ending. I feel like this has somebody else's ending.
So you're saying they stopped the movie and they just played the fan
the greatest hits.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
It's like
all
this is they put the flashback scene at the very end of the movie.
Oh,
Okay.
well, I mean, I agree with everybody on this in this episode. I think they did pull it off perfectly. And if you and when you see that happening in the theater, when you see like, where doesn't it hurt? I see what you're doing. This is great. You guys nailed it. You understand Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark and Marion Ravenwood. You're awesome. But I do see Pete's point that it's like, well, is that
Well,
what
I
they would
guess-
do
I
in this
guess-
moment? Would they reenact a scene from a movie from 40 years ago?
Well, the other thing that I think eats at me a little bit is you have all of these people who seem to exist only to take care of Indy in this moment. And I just kept asking myself, is Indy ever shown himself a true friend to people? Especially to all of these people who are showing him unconditional love and affection and
once.
kindness and care. I just feel like it's almost like we're seeing Indy die. He did die in ancient, Sicily. And this is just his, the weird last firings of the synapses in his brain.
Oh, it's like Last Temptation of Christ. Like, do I get to stay in the past? No, I'm going to go back to live a mortal's life with a woman and get ice cream.
Yeah, ice cream.
But then he wakes up on the car.
Jesus
Oh,
is
thank
famous
goodness.
for that. Yeah. Yeah. Well, all right. So let's think about this for just a minute. So this is actually a quiet ending, a very quiet, mundane, not much going on ending, like Raiders was. So if we think about how Raiders ends, there's a guy and he's wheeling the ark around, and it was this very powerful thing, and nobody's gonna get that arc at all, and it's lost and it's quiet and there's just but it's meaningful. It's meaningful, and it finishes the story out. And this one is also very meaningful, very quiet. I understand that Pete, you might think that this is lazy, and you might be right about that. And maybe it is I guess it's pandering, yeah, but it's also calling back that very quiet sort of, and we just go on. The arc doesn't have any rest of the story, and neither does Indy. And then Temple of Doom, I admit I can't remember how that ends.
Nobody
and I
does.
probably don't care. Pete does, yeah. And then what happens in Holy Grail, right? He basically he doesn't get the chalice.
Holy Grail is like a rabbit, like an exploding Jesus bomb thing. Oh, Holy Grail, you said. I'm sorry. You're thinking of Last Crusade. Okay.
Took me a minute. All right. So the ending of how does this ending compare to all the other endings? That's my question.
It feels a lot like the Crystal Skull ending to me.
Really? I mean,
Because
of that, like there's the hat.
Both of them had the passing of the hat to the next generation, and then he grabs the hat back, and it felt a lot like that.
I don't see. I never felt I felt the movie studio in the background of the movie trying to pass the hat, but I never saw the movie itself trying to pass the hat to anybody in this movie.
Well,
But Helena puts on the hat. She literally puts on a hat, and that's the last minute of action. Is other than him grabbing
not
his
his
hat,
hat.
It's her putting on a hat.
No.
No, but she's putting on a hat.
100% honestly, I didn't put that together at all. I saw her put on
I
the hat.
didn't put
didn't
that
think of
together either. Wait, Pete, is that true? She
I'm
like
going
she
back.
That's
goes
the
out
last moment of the movie. She puts on, she reaches into her satchel, pulls out her hat, and puts it on, and walks off into the sunset.
Son
Oh,
of
that's a
gun.
nice touch.
actually, that's kind of weak
Pete
sauce.
doesn't like it.
Oh
But
my
it's
gosh, we have an
well, okay, but
Because
okay.
it's the same thing they did the last
But listen,
movie.
listen.
It's
She's
fine.
like barely, like you don't even see her face by the time she puts the hat on. She's like halfway across the street. She's a tiny little figure in the scene, and then she gets the hat on. So it's not like a
You're saying
momentous
that what's
thing.
in the frame of the scene we should ignore.
No, but
we're
it's
not
not
to pay
like
attention
she's
to what's
wearing
happening.
a hat. She's wearing a hat before the movie. Not every hat is a hat.
Her last action is to reach into her satchel and put on
She's
a
getting
hat.
ice cream.
You can't
Well,
tell me
hat
that's
ice cream. Ice cream
that's not
hat.
intentional.
No, that is intentional.
Is it
It's
really?
absolutely intentional, and it is a way. Yeah, but I actually like it. I'm going to throw a
There-
complete.
Oh no, I want to hear your whatever
I
you're
was going to
throwing.
say I'm going to throw a wrench, even a monkey, a Cairo monkey wrench into the
Oh.
whole thing. We
Oh.
are assuming that is Indy's hand grabbing the hat,
Oh yeah.
and I wondered, could it be Marion's?
No, Chrissy says no.
You
No.
just see, well, you see a hand grab the hat, and it's very quick, and it's done very aggressively too.
Mm-hmm.
Could it be the modern version of Belloc?
Now I have the power.
Look, it's one of the. It's, I kind of thought about it. I mean, oh my gosh, I'm laughing because it's like the inner sop in me is so happy. I think it's a great.
is
I'm
a
thrilled
good
you're
Jerry,
happy.
it's a good
I don't
ending.
want to ruin
It is
that.
a good ending.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, his adventure is to reconnect with Marion. That is, she is the true treasure here.
Yeah.
Like the fact that he gets
that
to
is
jump
that
back
is sweet. That is
Yeah.
really sweet.
A little too sweet.
A little
I mean,
saccharin.
who would have thought that the normally the asshole is the guy?
Now you're just a sappy asshole.
No, I'm
We're all suffering from this.
True listeners.
a
He is.
happy clown. Oh my gosh. I'm the guy like drawing happy faces
Ooh.
on all you
You're
guys.
dotting your eyes with hearts, you little cutie pie.
Also, why are you making the assumption that they are living happily ever after? Like they've had two of these already,
Yeah.
where they lived happily ever after, and they weren't happily ever after. And this one, he didn't even want to come back to her.
He's
and
in
they're
his
living happily
80s
ever
now. Like, how many
Oh,
more
he
times
took
can he
after. So
do?
you're saying he can't run
Yeah.
anymore? Is
It
the
was
reason
the refrigerator. The refrigerator, was the foreshadowing. He took the magnet off. What was it? Was it her picture?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he put so meaning he's opening her visage, her aura back into his kitchen.
That's right. Can I make a really mundane comment that doesn't have anything to do with anything? I have to I love Sala. It's good to see him one last time in the movie, but I have to disagree with him here. There is absolutely such a thing as too much ice cream. You can have too much ice cream. I've learned this later in life that if you get anything bigger than the smallest portion of ice cream, that after like, I don't know, 5 or 6 bites, it's kind of flavorless, and it's like you still have the texture and the cold, but like the flavor is gone, and you can't. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not as. There's no point in getting too much ice cream. It's diminishing returns.
That seems a little bit like a good metaphor for the end of this movie.
Or for
maybe.
anything that you would
Maybe
love
we've-
more of,
we've
but then you
gotten
get too much
a
of
little
it.
bit too much ice cream. Yeah.
Well, okay, so if Jared thinks that this is, he's all about the warm, fuzzy, domestic tranquility and so forth, and there are other perspectives that might be better. Does that reflect the aging audience? Who is that supposed to appeal to? And obviously, we are fandering, as it were.
Yeah.
We are being pandered
I like
to.
that. That's a nice,
Pandering,
yeah,
yeah.
nice coin of a phrase. That's great.
Yeah. So are we supposed to be speaking to people who are aging themselves? And I speak as the oldest amongst
God,
us.
that's true.
But
Well, that kind of symbolizes this whole movie. Like this whole movie felt like no one under, I think, 40 watched
Right.
it or cared
for
about
us.
it. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, but I don't want a movie.
You didn't ask for a
I want a
movie.
movie. I want a movie. I don't want a movie for us.
Yeah. Well, that's what.
Well,
Okay, so this is if this was
Have AI write you a movie for
Yeah.
that.
if we knew that if there was like another movie coming after this or something, with or without Harrison Ford or something, this ending would be different probably. This is the last time you're seeing Indy, last time you're seeing Harrison Ford as Indy. We're all here because of Raiders. We love Indy and Marion, so this is the ending that we're doing. It's all about Marion and the hat, and everybody's happily ever after.
And listen, the pivot on this is, look, yes, he's always running away. He's always escaping his life. He's putting his hat on to get away from either domesticity or, Marshall College or the mundane, the pedestrian, all that stuff. And here, everything hurts. He says that they're in a small little, he's not in his house. He's not at Marshall College. He's not in the Chachapoyan temple. He is in his house, and it's a small little confined thing, but it's a cozy place surrounded by friends. We see kids. They mention ice cream, and he grabs his hat. It's like, yeah, there's one more adventure. He's not, he's, first of all, he's not dead yet. They very specifically show he like grabs the hat with aggressively, meaning like, hey, dudes, I'm not dead, and I'm diving into this cozy, warm, the new adventure, which is, love and making this work and being comfy. Not how about this? Not drinking myself to death.
Right. Not
You guys
not
okay
greeting my
with
neighbors
that?
with a baseball bat.
Yeah.
Actually, that reminds me of a terrible thought that I just had. So I'm not being reminded of it. I'm thinking of it for the first time. And please, Pete, cover your ears. Is there a banister in Indy's building? Is he grabbing his hat and he's going to ride down the banister and then knock his eye out and get an eye patch and clobber some kid?
Yeah,
I suddenly love this ending. Everything you could.
You call them knuckleheads or something.
Little whippersnappers.
Obviously. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Pete, I do have a little biscuit for you here.
Okay.
I do love that, the whole franchise started on the West Coast, and then now we ended on the East Coast.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
That's
What
right.
do you-
No, this isn't for you,
That's not.
Tommy.
You know who that's
not a
I'm
actually
sliding
biscuit
more
for
of a
you.
banister.
It's funny because I sort of became the face of that theory, but that theory was all Christy Porter.
It kind of was, wasn't it?
That was Christy Porter that said
Yeah.
he was from San Francisco.
It was the whole map. It was the map. She just the map started in whatever San Francisco and not in Connecticut. So it's a whole.
Yep.
You know
Yep.
what? I hate
So
this whole show.
I was just defending
one.
that whole time. I was just
Good one,
defending Christy.
It was Christy all along.
I guess I had forgotten that.
So it's Pete's now.
It's only been 10 years.
Just while with cleared air, the Quint starting the fire was also either Christy or Jerry.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was one of you weirdos.
Yeah.
Absolute weirdos.
Yeah. I just enjoy picking up the banner for whatever enrages Tom, to be honest.
Sure
He
thing.
watches for my reaction and then he pounces in the other direction.
Yep. Sala says, Indy, you're up and about. And that line makes me think that he has not been awake since Helena punched him.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of a point in that
Yeah.
column.
Yeah.
Because he seems surprised to see Indy, and everyone else seems surprised to see Indy. And
Unless Indy's been up, like awake and conscious and arguing with people, but he hasn't gotten out of bed yet or
Yeah,
something.
maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, it could be.
I think that's a bit of a symbolic thing. Like she punched him. It was 2,300 years ago or whatever it was. And then it's like, it's the end of the franchise or whatever. And it's like, no, Indy needs like sort of a symbolic or, he's resting, but it's also larger than that. It's like a big metaphorical change or rest, or maybe maybe that is like, he kind of went off the rails. He's like, I'm going to stay here. And as we
Yeah, he
said,
did.
yeah.
You did.
he's making the wrong choice.
Yeah.
Right? He always makes the right choice. Like, close your eyes, don't look at it. And, whatever. He doesn't, I can't remember what he does at Crystal Skull. He goes over waterfalls, right? Or whatever the hell he does.
Something like that.
He doesn't have his brain get infected. He doesn't need to know all the knowledge or whatever. And then in this one, he wants to meddle. He wants to meddle with Archimedes and the thing and Syracuse and stay there, and that's how he needs someone else. That's how you know that his trajectory is one of either aging or we did see him make a bad choice. Maybe that's when, Princess Leia says, "Boy, I'd like to see you. I don't want to be around when you make a bad choice or whatever." Well, maybe that's it. Maybe Helena's the one who prevents him from doing that.
Yeah.
But you have to have a bit of the screen goes blank.
You know what it is,
Like
Jerry? Pete, cover your ears again. This is the Eagles carrying Frodo and Sam and everybody back to the Shire. This is Indy's just like asleep on the back of the Eagle. He's asleep for maybe 2 weeks or something, and then he gets back, and Sala comes in through the round doors. Says, "Hey, Indy, you're back on your feet."
That Tommy, you see me. I love you, and
I love you
see
too,
me.
Jerry.
This isn't exactly working for me, though. Really isn't. Sorry.
Thank you, Chris.
Sorry, fellas.
You thought it meant Glenn Fry. I'm sorry.
I didn't have a problem until I, showed up tonight.
That's what I'm here for.
That's how I feel every episode.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. So, I know that we're supposed to be thinking about aging. I know that we're supposed to be thinking about agency, right? He couldn't do it himself, and he needs other people, and so forth. But that was actually the worst example of. And I'm going to run away from everything. I'm totally resigned. I'm exhausted. I'm grieving. I'm totally resigned. And I don't even want to look at the 1960s. I can't even handle
Yeah.
because I'm old and grouchy and I can't handle it.
Right.
And that's just not the character that I signed up for at all.
Let me ask you, because we were discussing that. We've had a few episodes to discuss this, like the choice that he tries to make and whether it's the right one or not. Do you see he's talking about like, Helen, I studied this my whole life. I lived this and stuff. I just want to be here now. Does that sound like the Indiana? And I don't mean this to be leading, but because I've stuck on this. But like, does that ring true to you for the Indiana Jones you've been following through all these movies?
No.
Oh, okay. Did I successfully lead you to that, or is that
no? No.
Right.
No, I thought so. When I watched it in the theater, I was thinking, they've really, jumped the shark here. They've we've gone from supernatural to, I don't know, midichlorians or something. we've and he's running away. And what was he going to do there? Honestly, what was he going to do?
He was going to die.
It sure was. With like leeches and whatever.
He was resigned.
Yeah, he's resigned.
Yeah, he was.
Well, that's not the guy. That's not the guy. So is he still resigned in the kitchen?
Well, no, because he didn't die. He got saved.
But he's hanging up his hat. He's not going to have any more adventures.
No, he grabs his hat because he does have more adventures. And the whole point is look, he either popped a Viagra and grabbed the hat, or the point, it's symbolically, he's literally not hanging up his hat because he grabs it off the hook. If you hang up your hat, you don't take it off the hook ever again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is what, I think this is very... This last 2 minutes or whatever is sort of a gift to the fans. I mean, I don't see it as pandering. It's like, no, we're all here in the theater and the characters and the actors are there and we're all celebrating this.
Yeah. It's less like logical moments and more just like an encapsulation of the feeling that we're leaving Indy with.
So as somebody who has had close family members in memory units in nursing homes, I'm curious if you are in a memory unit in a nursing home and you're Indiana Jones, would your experience be any different than the end of this movie? Like you would sort of go back and you're sort of living a new life based on these old memories.
Oh, and he thinks he is on Katanga's ship right now?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sad.
He thinks Sala's outside singing the British stars and soaring soul. And he's
Sala's just the nurse walking in.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
Dr. Jones, you're up and about.
Oh, British stars and soaring soul.
We have your favorite Dr. Jones ice cream.
Yeah. You can't have too much ice cream.
Lord have mercy.
Oh man, whose fault was that? Somebody ruined it.
Yeah.
We're having fun. I was feeling good about this.
You know what? I'm dying laughing because we're sitting here. Apparently, I'm like the howdy doody of the bunch.
It's funny if we had like gone back to Raiders and or Temple of Doom and said, how are we all going to end the Indy series? And I think people would have said Pete's going to be the big shill and Jerry's Mr. Negative and Tom's going to be somewhere in the middle.
I guess I'm only in the middle in the sense that I totally see both sides of it, but I do feel more. I'm supporting more of Jerry's acceptance of this ending as like they kind of nailed what it is, and it leaves me with a good feeling.
I mean, what are they going to do? End it like the Elephant Man?
Sure. 2001.
They did do a good job for what it is. I agree with that statement. Like it was very well filmed.
You did.
The way that the ending
It
that
was
they
in
put
color. It was in focus.
Well, it was like they pulled a lot of heartstrings. I'm not denying that they pulled a lot of heartstrings. I just don't feel like those heartstrings earned being pulled.
Well, I forget if we must have said this during Crystal Skull, but the very fact that you bring back Marion Ravenwood at all and that he ends up with her and everything, that's kind of fan service. That's like the people who loved Raiders and they've been wondering each movie, where's Marion?
It's also the exact same fan service we had in the last movie that nobody liked.
That's true. Well, but it feels better. It feels more. It's more satisfying.
I don't mean people didn't like the fan service. I mean people didn't like Crystal Skull.
But that's her presence in that movie was annoying because the movie was annoying and like none of that was satisfying. But this feels real to me. This feels like two people who have been through a lot together, some actual real stuff that leads to like divorce papers and magnets over pictures and stuff and alcoholism and dead sons and everything. And this is all real. And I feel like these are two people who, like when I watched the scene between them, I'm seeing Indiana Jones and Marion Ravenwood, and I'm seeing Harrison Ford and Karen Allen. No, they don't have like a history together, but they've in my head that they've been these two people for me all these years, and I'm seeing them in this scene together, and that's a big deal. That's a hugely
and that's
satisfying
exactly
thing.
what it should have ended that way. I'm so glad she agreed to do it. That's really great. I'm not entirely sure. Like when she showed up, I was kind of like, oh, it's you. Because I had no idea that she was going to show up. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, did she show up because he was, in a coma for a little while? And they're like, oh, Marion, you better come to the apartment because he's been in a coma.
Yeah.
I punched Indy really hard.
I punched Indy really hard.
You might go visit Archimedes, as we say. That's our euphemism. He could visit Archimedes any day now.
So here's the tough thing. You have the ending of Crystal Skull, and you're like, hooray, they get married. Mm-hmm. And then somebody calls you up, and they're like, hey, look, we're going to do an Indy 5, and we have to there's going to be like a thing where Marion comes into the, at the end, and we're going to have to wrap this up. We're gonna it's gonna have to make sense. And you're like, okay, if you're a writer, I'm just saying you're gonna have to be like, okay, Mutt's dead. He died sort of in a shocking way, or a way that he always mudded around, whatever. He had to prove something or go against his dad's wishes, or he joined, he entered the draft and he went to Vietnam, and they make it, at least they frame it like he was stubborn or he went against his dad's wishes, and then now he's dead, and they're blaming, maybe Indy blames himself, or Marion was never herself again after that happened, and then they come back. You're like, you got to write some sort of tension in there, right? Mm-hmm. So in a way,
it's like a foregone conclusion that they'd be having a hard time.
Just given the ending, you have to. I mean, given the ending of Crystal Skull, this is a very natural and organic movie trajectory. I think it makes sense.
Why couldn't you have had Marion actually as a co-character with her own sense of agency, and she and Indy had an adventure together, like Indy and his dad did?
Or she and Sala could have been like, oh God, he's going on another adventure. I tell you what, you get the ice cream, I'll get the backgammon. We'll just stay here, wait for him to come back.
Well, Sala was always kind of disappointed that it didn't work out with him, and when remember when she kisses him in the right before this scene.
Ooh, now's his chance.
That makes him sing.
Yeah.
Totally makes
Oh,
sense.
wait a minute. Is that what makes him sing now? Is that why
was-
he surprised Indy's up? He's like, oh, did
That
you
was
see
no
that?
ship's horn.
Oh, yes.
That's what makes him sing. My God. And he comes in singing. Oh my gosh. He comes in singing with kids.
Hey, do we think that's actually him? Is that John Rhys Davies in the last shot running down the street?
Oh, I didn't even question that.
Oh.
Is he running?
He's trotting a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah,
Why
you
wouldn't
mean
it
they,
be?
Not doing a
they
cartwheel
brought
or
in like a
anything.
stunt double?
I actually kind of wonder. We saw him run like 10 feet earlier in the movie, and it looked very dodgy. It looked like it was not going to work out necessarily, and he looks a little more spry here. I don't know, and we don't quite see his face, so I don't know.
CGI? CGI
Yeah,
sound?
I think it's
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you think it's a CGI hat, a fake stunt hat?
I do. They were like, "Oh wait, she's got to put a hat on at the end, or Pete's going to freak out."
Well, he's running like everything hurts.
He is
He
really
is,
like
kinda.
everything hurts. Yeah.
You know, it's great. I watched it the entire time. He's got his arms up in the air, like kind of like ice cream, ice cream, ice cream. Go, go, go.
I think he's chasing the ice cream truck. Yeah. Wait for me,
It's-
mister.
It's interesting that Teddy, this whole movie's been like I see. This I like about this minute is his whole movie. Teddy's been having to be the tough guy because he's been on his own, like trying to survive on the streets. And suddenly, for the first chance, he has a chance to just be a kid, and he's running with the other kids to get ice cream. And I
Yeah.
love that. That's nice.
He does
Yeah,
the
that's
like.
good.
He does the hurry up. Do you think that's sort of a callback to come?
No.
Hurry up.
I don't.
Time's a wasting.
No.
It's weird to hear Tiddly say Marion. He's like, "Hey, Marion already bought some ice cream. What are we doing?" Like, wait, hey,
Yeah.
hey, you're new here, kid.
Wouldn't he say Mrs. Jones?
Yeah. Hey, doll. You call that doll Mrs. Doll.
No,
Hey,
that's,
Oh my
that's not going to
gosh.
happen.
oh my gosh. I will say, and I'm the only one who cares about this, but I am going to be consistent. I've had a color blue and orange watch this entire movie, and we get that shot of Helena Wombat, and she shuts the door, goes out on the New York street, right where we had the parade. And everything was blue and orange, and she's wearing, her shirt is, I know it was green upstairs, but here on the street, it's a solid turquoise with the orange again.
There's also
Yeah.
like a news. The person running the newsstand also is wearing a turquoise like a sweater
Yeah.
vest.
Oh.
It's, you know what? It's just so prevalent in this movie. I know movies do that, and movie guys do color stuff. But this one is just, they really, really, they just utilized it heavily.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They knew what they were doing.
Well, the
Yeah.
bubblegum machine is also a bright turquoise.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was the 60s.
a
Everything was
good
turquoise
call,
back then,
Jerry.
apparently.
True. And Harvest Gold.
Pete, question for you.
Okay.
How would you define or describe the font for the credits?
Oh.
I'm not up to the credits yet. Hey,
Oh,
Oh.
Oh, you're,
my
oh,
word.
no.
Steady on there, Jerry.
Yes, sorry. So let's see. This will be question for Tom. So question for Tom.
Okay.
Tom, does this ending take itself too seriously?
No, I don't think this ending takes itself too seriously. No, I
Themes
think
of aging and moving on and never going out on another adventure, because I think that's what it is, even though I saw the hat.
See, I think it's got the very nice, very clear Indy and Marion together
Is that
again
right?
in, wedded bliss, I guess, but also just like, domestic warmth and hominess and stuff, but with a little, punctuation of grabbing the hat.
Okay.
So it's a little bit of like, hey, what's next? Indy's still doing something.
Okay, so he didn't
Maybe
just
we're not
lay
supposed
down
to
and
see it. It's
die
behind
then.
closed doors.
Okay. Good.
No,
Good to know.
no. I think it's a nice mix of heartwarming emotion and sentimentality in a good way, and then also a little dot of like, hey, Indy's on the move.
Okay.
somehow, whatever that means, even if it's just symbolically. Like his next adventure might be getting his own thing of ice cream. Who knows? Or reading the paper next to the fire.
Okay. Pete, does the ending, is the ending too serious or take itself too seriously?
I don't even know how to answer that. Like, I feel like no, I don't feel like it's too serious. I just feel like it I feel like if I were Jerry Porter a couple movies ago, I would have said it doesn't take itself seriously enough.
Aha. I see.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
But see, there's nothing.
could
Now, we have to remind people. Pete's the one who likes the ending of Temple of Doom.
I didn't
Which is
say
all
I
goofball
love
all
the
the
ending of
time.
Temple of Doom. I just said it had an ending.
It did.
Boy, you got some low
No,
standards
there's
here.
nothing.
Thankfully.
There's nothing goofball or like even the Last Crusade, which we love the very ending of, and riding off into the sunset. You don't get more perfect than that. But it had a little more, Marcus goofery and stuff right before that and stuff, and
True.
little silliness that almost pushed the boundaries a little bit. And this
'Cause it's
doesn't have
just
any. of
greatest
that.
No, there's
hits.
no
This is
myth.
like
It's
just a
just
very
greatest
straight,
hits.
nice thing.
Well, they kind of ruined
But
the
they're
myth.
well done.
They ruined the myth.
Oh, they ruined the myth. How so? What do you mean?
Well, now he's a human.
Yeah.
He couldn't even
Yeah.
get himself back from Syracuse. He couldn't even decide for that. He had to be like taken there, and he had to be taken there through violence or whatever.
Yeah. I like where you're going with this.
So this is, do you like him as a human, a regular everyday human, or do you miss the myth? Miss the myth?
Oh, that's a great question.
Sorry, that poorly said.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. So I don't know. That's why I'm saying, well, it takes itself too seriously, and now he's going to be like human guy. And I know how Jared's going to say it. Jared's going to be like, yeah, and that's fine.
Oh, so is another word for serious grounded, or
Yeah,
like just sort of mundanely realistic, or
Grounded
something?
and
Or-
realistic, but well, too serious is let's all be poignant and so forth. I'm not saying that we have to slap our knees and be
Yeah.
all slapstick. That would be the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
So not that, but I mean, I don't know, where did the myth go?
It is. I mean, we've been saying this all along that there is like a like in the early scenes in New York with Indy, and you see him as an old man and stuff, and he's an alcoholic and everything. It's like, oh, this is really real. This is like not Indy on a white horse chasing down Nazis. This is like drunk Indy, angry at his neighbors with a baseball bat and stuff. And part of me, that's why this movie is weird and good to me in the sense that it's like almost just a weird like experiment or something. Like, what would it look like when Indy's in the 60s? He's an old man and things aren't going great, but he's got one more adventure in him, and who knows? Like it's in that way it doesn't fit into the other movies
He's
really,
not
but
going to
it's
land that adventure.
It's a nice
He's
little
gonna
coda
fly
or
the
something.
adventure, but it's not going to land. Someone else is going to have to land. Someone else is going to
Right,
open up
yeah.
the yellow raft
Yeah.
and land it for him.
Yeah, Helena is his yellow raft.
Okay.
His turquoise.
I
raft.
never picked up that he was abusing alcohol. Never picked that up.
Oh, he's like pouring stuff in his
Yeah.
coffee, like his morning
Oh, I
coffee.
guess I missed it.
Not like he's drunk off the walls or anything. But
Yeah,
just,
he, like, clearly-
he needs a little something to get him out
He
of
fell,
bed.
Yeah.
a morning
Hair of the
nip.
dog. Yeah.
He also like he falls asleep in the lazy boy with the television. If you wake
Yeah.
up and he's got like liquor around him and
Okay.
yeah,
I just forgot.
I feel like what I struggle with a little bit too is I feel like the beginning of the movie and the end of the movie, they might go with each other, but I struggle to connect those to the middle of the Indy of the middle of the movie. A little bit.
And like, like in what way?
I just feel like
Like who is the
I
Indy in
feel
the
like
middle?
they bookended it with kind of the sad, mundane, ordinary Indy, which could have been fine, but then in the middle you get sort of superhero Indy. And
He's never quite a full-on superhero, though.
No, well,
and even while he is being whatever hero he is, he's also kind of in a place where he's like, finally, he's voicing like all this stuff about like, oh, my son died, and oh, I drank the blood of Kali. He's like referring back to all this crazy stuff that he
Yeah.
did that we know about that you never hear him
No,
talking
that's a good
about.
point. That's a good point.
So he's sort of like at a point where he's like, reflecting on stuff. Like in the beginning in New York, he's like sizing stuff up. Like everything kind of sucks. People only care about the moon. Nobody cares if I find a cool trinket in the
But
dirt
it's the
anymore.
same movie where he does,
know.
like a 36-minute spine-jarring tuk-tuk chase.
Yeah, that is true.
Which I don't know. It just doesn't all connect. Yeah.
Everything
Oh,
hits.
okay, so let me ask a question for Professor Christy Porter. Which movie is Indy most vulnerable in?
Hmm.
This one.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay. Pete, do you
That makes
agree?
sense.
I just struggle to see this as indie.
You mean
Oh.
the,
This whole movie, I
Dial of
struggled to
Destiny?
see
with you.
this as indie. I've struggled to see this as something other than like Tom saw the Star Wars sequels. He kept saying they were fans, like a fanfic, and I kind of feel like that a little bit about this Indiana Jones.
But okay, so you mean about the movie Dial of Destiny, not the scene, but the
Yeah,
movie.
about the movie. So when is
Okay.
Indy the most vulnerable? I'd have to go to one of the other movies. I feel like.
There is something inherently weird about making this movie, about making another adventure movie about an 80-year-old man. But we still, I think people are kind of excited by the idea of it, and I still like it. But there is some, like, it's not going to fit in with the other movies I will, and it's not going to be this. He's in a totally different part of his life now, even than he was in
Right.
Crystal
So
Skull.
that's kind of the thing. You have to
Yeah.
now. You could go with the Tom Taylor route, which is they never should have made this. What are you guys
But you-
thinking?
But I still
Or-
like it. I'm kind of
Yeah,
glad
you
they
could have
made it
gone
in a
with the
weird
Mad
way.
Max route, and you could have made a new movie that actually appealed to a wide range of people that go to see a movie just because it was a good movie, not that you were just making fan service.
Yeah, but now you're talking about a soft reboot, Pete, and I will not stand for
Yes. And
that. That'll work for Mad
by the
Max, but
way,
not
How
for
is this
Indiana
not a
Jones.
soft reboot? It's the same story.
It didn't go anywhere. It's not
the whole time. You
it's
kept
still Indy's
saying,
movie.
Well, you kept saying they're redoing Raiders. They're hitting the Raiders notes. They're pulling my Raiders strings.
Well,
That sounds like a
wait
soft
minute.
reboot.
We have to be clear.
That's a retread.
Mel Gibson is not in Fury Road.
Right.
He's not because if Mel Gibson was in Fury Road as a 72-year-old, whatever he is now,
Yeah.
then people, this they have to once you're like Indiana Jones is going to be in it. It would be one thing that is silly is like the fight scenes with Roger Moore in Moonraker. Like this dude's like 68 and he's cocking his fist back,
Yeah.
and it takes him 15 minutes to get his fist behind his head, and then you hear the guy's like rotator cuff break, and then he like lunges forward and punches out like a 23-year-old ninja.
Yeah. But people put up with that all the way through View to a Kill because they loved Roger Moore and he was
Yeah,
a
I
James
get it.
Bond. Yeah.
But so you have to, they do, once you're, married to the idea that Harrison Ford is doing this at the age of 80, you have to draw him a certain way. And he has to say, I drank the blood of Kali and I had voodoo, and all that. Like, I've been shot 9 times, I mean,
I'm cool with all that. I feel like I just wish they'd made a different movie with all that in it.
I think we're all saying they should have stopped with Last Crusade and that was it. The end.
That's not true at all.
So should we have. Oh.
I mean, we
No.
did talk, they did actually, that was supposed to be the end, right?
Yeah, that was the end for a long time. Yeah. Hey, listen. What are you going to do? So fonts.
Fonts.
Credits fonts. I will say before we get to fonts, I have no idea what his involvement in this movie was, but I very much like seeing executive producers Steven Spielberg and George Lucas.
Yes, me
I
too.
like that very much. That makes me feel good about stuff.
Yeah.
Did you like seeing the camera closing in? Did that work for you, or was that a little?
That they never do anything close to that in the rest of the movies. So it's
Nope.
weird in that sense. But as the very end of a thing, and it is a little sentimental and it is a little outsized in its endingness, that made sense to me and that worked.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Didn't hate it.
Okay. Pete hated it.
well, I want to go to Jerry's question. I think it's interesting because I think the font, I might be mistaken, but I feel like the font and the closing credits here is the intro font to Raiders. I feel like Raiders had a different, like I feel like the other movies didn't use this font for the closing credits. I might be
I
right.
think they all use this for the opening credits, except for Temple of Doom. Temple of Doom went heavy on the established poster font. Yeah. But yeah, the others. All
So
had
good
this stuff.
font? Good font.
Good font.
Good fun.
Good
yeah.
font.
I don't know what they're saying.
Right.
I think we
Wrapped
looked
it
it
up.
up at the beginning of Crystal Skull, but I forget
I'm
what
curious
we said
what
it
they're saying though,
was.
that they're going with the beginning credits font. Like I feel like
It's
the
a
whole
loop.
time they're making this movie, I feel like they're saying it's a new beginning, and I feel like Helena putting on her hat is it's a new beginning, and I feel like they keep kind of.
I am dying to hear what other people have to say about that hat because that seems like such a casual, no significance thing putting on
So
that
you're
hat.
saying,
But,
well,
at
I'll say
least
it, a
two of you were
camera
saying that that's a big deal.
focused on a person.
It's not
A whole
focused on her.
movie
She's
that's
way
about
over
a
there.
man in a hat, and the woman is in the exact center of the frame, reaches into her satchel and puts on a hat and walks off into the sunset as the
But
music
it's like
starts to
a
play.
hat. It's like have we seen that hat before? There's like no
Well,
significance to that hat.
Look, I have the answer to this one.
Okay, thank
Pete
God.
is right.
Ah, I hate
they're
this.
not
I hate
That's
it.
also right.
They're not going to take away from, if they had Helena put the hat on and it was really punctuated. Number one, it would take away from Indy's hat grab, and number two, it would be too on the nose. And so now what they did is they subtly left the door open for her to continue the franchise should that feel like an organic trajectory or
Was
decision.
she putting
down
on
the
a
road.
Is
hat? Or was she
exactly
putting on
what
a
they
hat?
did at
Yeah.
the end of Crystal Skull. They did the same thing where they weren't sure, is he going to replace him? Is she going to replace him? And I felt like the whole movie they never decided. In both.
So
mean,
like the
they-
next movie would begin, like if there was a next movie, you would see her with that hat that she
Yeah,
just
that
put
baseball
on, and that
cap
would
or
become her hat.
maybe.
That would be the
I mean,
Helena hat.
They did it on purpose, but they did it not to push you, not to say now Helena's taken over the reins and she's the new hero. It's not that, but it is because directors know what they're doing. They're very specifically like Helena has to have a hat. And she's going to put it on, but it's not going to be a weird thing that people
It's
on
not gonna be a
podcasts
fedora.
are going to talk about.
It's not going to cause arguments amongst
Not going to
friends.
rage Tom Taylor.
No, sir.
Never. Well, speaking of arguments amongst friends,
Well, do you guys hear that?
what?
Do you guys
I don't
hear?
hear
There's
anything.
like a. There's
Oh, like a
yeah.
thunder,
There's
it's kinda
something
low.
coming. Wait a minute, but it's a little.
Your low
Kind of a
rumble.
pondering kind of.
Boom, ba-boom,
This just in. No. It's the high pitched one.
Oh.
Oh, it's
This
oh.
just in
Wait,
from
ears checked.
Professor Christy Porter.
What
Wait,
the hell is going on? What is this?
I know. Why was you all the time at the old mill, old man? I should have known. The entire last 10 years, I've been writing. Nope, that's not true. I'm not going
Stop
to put that hat on. That's not true. I faked everybody out. You are correct, Tommy. It's a very low rumbling.
Oh.
Boop, boop,
Oh, I knew it. I knew it. I'm not crazy.
Professor Christy Porter did write all those damn things in for the last 10 years, by the way.
Of course.
This just in from the largest Billy Goat Mimi Porter Esquire.
Rise from your grave.
That's the oldest sister there to you, Christy. You can never have too much ice cream.
Oh.
I want you to wrap up the entire franchise using this quote.
Oh, wow. Gosh. Wait. So we have to make an ice cream, what?
Yeah. You have to get out your blue
metaphor
books.
or
Yeah,
Oh,
that is
boy.
one of the largest things that we're left with. You can
It's
never
been a
have
rocky
too much
road,
ice cream.
but there's also been some gold ribbon twist at the end of the
Gold medal ribbons.
gold medal ribbon, yeah. And some bubblegum fun too. And also 31.
Pretty good.
There were moments of this podcast that were vanilla,
Sure.
but then
yes.
we were surprised by a Bubble-O Bill.
No idea what that
Got
means.
that was beautiful.
It's a good one from the biggest Billy Goat.
Yeah. That Billy
Yeah.
Goat Gruff, she knows how to fill a blue
She
book.
knows how to.
You can never have too much ice cream, can you?
Yeah. You can, Sala. You
So,
can.
okay, so Sala is saying this as a way to scurry everyone out of the apartment, right?
Is he apologizing to the audience for anybody who didn't like the movie? He's like, well, it's ice cream. You can't have too much ice cream. Yes, maybe it didn't totally work out. Maybe it lost its flavor after a few bites. It's ice cream. Come on.
No. Speaking of taking themselves too seriously. No.
I'm trying to give him credit. Well, God, is that it for the last minute of Indiana Jones? The pictures.
Last minute of
movie?
action,
The movie
not the last minute.
Last minute of action. It's not the last minute of the show. Not the last episode.
Not even the last minute of the
We've
movie.
got-
It's just the last minute
No,
of the
we got
movie with
credits.
actors in
Yes,
it.
yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
And
with
to be
story
clear,
happening.
we are not hanging up our hats.
No,
No, we're putting
No,
on a
we
new
are-
Some of us
hat,
don't even own
almost
hats.
like the Movians with Helena putting on a new hat.
I might get a helmet this time. I'm gonna get like a cool we'll be like the Village People. I get to be the construction worker man. We'll each have our own different hat. That'd be very cool. Everyone's just looking at me blankly. On that
You're
note,
wearing your good humor
Christy
man hat.
Porter. I am. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Pete. I'm back to my good humor days because you absolutely can have too much ice cream, and I'm going to sell it to you. Everybody, especially Christy Porter, thank you so much. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for being with us since almost the very beginning of this thing. I've said it a lot recently, but the first really solid personal fan mail we got was during your first week on the show. And I think that you helped boost our banter and our ease and fun to the next level, and we will always be grateful to you.
And as I recently said on
that's lovely.
Patreon, I my biggest regret about this podcast is that you weren't a full-time host.
Oh.
And your biggest
lovely.
bullet dodged is that you were
Yes.
not a full-time host.
That's not true. That's not true. Well, this is certainly fun, and I'm shocked to find out that that's how Jared did this just in, because that's all wrong. You know, sorry, I'm sorry, I got to correct you there. You got to be,
Yeah, come on.
That's this just in.
Take it from the pro. She knows.
And I would like to thank you guys, and I would also like to hear what fans think about this. The listeners think about
Yeah.
all of these things.
Yes. How smart or dumb are we? Please let us know in the
I think we
Indiana
know how
Jones
dumb we
Minute, the
are.
Listeners Crusade group.
And
we do know how dumb
which
we
is
are. I need to hear more
which
of
of us is the smartest, and why is it Pete?
Yeah. Even when he's wrong, he's still the smartest.
Thank you, Christy. But
What does
you
that
were
say about
definitely wrong
us?
there.
But thanks, everybody. We are going to be back next week and weeks after that, so don't you worry yet. Not yet. You'll worry later. But yeah, thank you for listening. Please come back next week and continue to let us know your thoughts and everything until we come back for the first full minutes of credits of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny right here on the Indiana Jones Minute.
Everything hurts.